Is Daniel 12 part of Daniel 11? Recall the two questions of when the end is, and their two answers. Recall the relation of Daniel 12's different time intervals to one another and to the end. Returning to our text, is the end spoken of here really the time of the end? How can we be sure? Notice the two questions and the two time intervals that are their answers. Split in this text with respect to the two questions and two time intervals. Daniel 11 and Daniel 12. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever, that it shall be for a time, times, and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Daniel 12, 6 and 7. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed, till the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white, and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Daniel 12, 8 through 11. Notice again the two questions and two time intervals, their answers. How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? A time, times, and a half. What shall be the end of these things? 1,290 days. Now notice Daniel 11. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong, and do exploits. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil, many days. Now when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. An arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. Daniel 11, 32 through 35 and 31. Now notice the connections existing between Daniel 11 and 12. Daniel 12:11 mentions shall be taken away, and Daniel 11:31 mentions shall take away. Daniel 12:11 mentions the daily, and Daniel 11:31 mentions the daily. Daniel 12:11 mentions set up, and Daniel 11:31 mentions shall place. Exact same Hebrew underlyingly. Daniel 12:11 mentions the abomination, and Daniel 11:31 mentions the abomination. Daniel 12:11 mentions that maketh desolate, and Daniel 11:31 mentions that maketh desolate. Daniel 12:10 mentions shall be purified, and Daniel 11:35 mentions to purge. Exact same Hebrew underlyingly. Daniel 12:10 mentions made white, and Daniel 11:35 mentions to make white. Daniel 12:10 mentions tried, and Daniel 11:35 mentions to try. Daniel 12:10 mentions the wise shall understand and shall understand, and Daniel 11:33 and 35 mentions they that understand and them of understanding, and shall instruct. The wise, they that understand, them of understanding, be in the same Hebrew underlyingly. And shall understand, shall instruct, be in the same Hebrew underlyingly. Daniel 12:10 mentions shall do wickedly, and the wicked, and the wicked. And Daniel 11:32 mentions do wickedly. It is quite clear that Daniel 12 parallels Daniel 11. Daniel 12:11's the daily shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, parallels Daniel 11:31's and shall take away the daily, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. Daniel 12:10's many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand, parallels Daniel 11:32-35's, and such as do wickedly against the covenant. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many, and some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Both clearly speaking of the persecution of God's saints. Note that Daniel 12:10's persecuted people, its many that shall be purified and made white and tried, parallel Daniel 12:7's persecuted people, its holy people, who have had their power scattered for a time, times and a half. Not sure these scattered holy people are a persecuted people? Recall a time, times and a half's parallel text. Recall Daniel 7:25's, and he, the little horn, shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times, and the dividing of time. Verse 21, speaking of this time period, says, the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. Clearly persecution. So indeed, Daniel 12:7, Daniel 11:32-35, and Daniel 12:10, parallel texts speaking of the persecution of God's people. So what of our question? Is Daniel 12 part of Daniel 11? Yes. Daniel 12 is a temporal commentary on Daniel 11. Daniel 11 details the events, and Daniel 12 provides the time periods for those events, either the length of the event or its location with respect to another event. And what of the other question we had? What of Daniel 12's ends? Its end of these wonders and end of these things? Note Daniel 11:32-35, a period of persecution. Note Daniel 12:7, its parallel text. According to this text, the period of persecution, that spoken of by the three parallel passages, Daniel 12:7, Daniel 12:10, and Daniel 11:32-35, has a specific length, a time, times and a half. That is, the period of persecution spoken of by these three texts comes to an end at the end of a time, times and a half. But according to the text of Daniel 11:35, persecution continues even to the time of the end, or the time appointed, or the appointed time. See also Daniel 11:27 and 29. Thus the ends, the end of these wonders and the end of these things, are indeed the time of the end.